What's up, Blue Jays Nation? If you thought spring training was just sun, sand, and easy practice swings, think again. We've got explosive news coming straight from Dunedin that's about to shake up everything you thought you knew about your Toronto Blue Jays heading into opening day. Buckle up, because this roster battle is getting intense, and some of your favorite players might be on the chopping block. Before we dive into the absolute chaos happening in Blue Jays camp right now, we need to talk about what just went down on the international stage. The World Baseball Classic just wrapped up, and let me tell you, it was an absolute masterpiece of baseball drama that has Blue Jays implications you won't believe. Team Venezuela just crowned themselves champions in what can only be described as one of the most thrilling, edge-of-your-seat finales in WBC history. And get this. The game started in the most bizarre fashion imaginable. We're talking wild pitches, walks galore, absolute chaos on the diamond. But out of that mayhem emerged Miguel Garcia with a sacrifice fly that set the tone for what would become his MVP performance. That's right, folks. This guy went from sacrificing himself for his team to taking home the Most Valuable Player award. Talk about a glow-up. Now, here's where things get juicy. The scoring continued, and if you've been following the tournament, you know that one player has been absolutely demolishing baseballs left and right. We're talking moonshots, absolute bombs, the kind of power display that makes pitchers wake up in cold sweats. In the fifth inning, Abreu stepped up and launched a solo shot that put Venezuela up 2-0, and the crowd went absolutely bananas. But hold on, because Team USA wasn't about to go down without a fight. And who steps up in the clutch? None other than Bryce Harper, who decided it was time to remind everyone why he's one of the most feared hitters in baseball. With a runner on base, Harper absolutely annihilated a baseball, sending it screaming into the right field seats for a 2-run homer that tied the game at 2 apiece. The timing, the power, the drama. This was Harper announcing that his swing is locked in and ready for the season. We're headed to the ninth inning, tied ball game, everything on the line. Enter Eugenio Suarez, and Blue Jays fans, you know this name all too well. This is the guy who absolutely tormented Toronto during that Seattle Mariners series, and he was about to do it again on the biggest stage. Suarez ripped a line drive into right center field that scored Javier Sanoja. And just like that, Venezuela had the lead they needed to seal the championship. The final numbers tell the story of an absolute pitching clinic combined with clutch hitting. No errors in the entire game. Team USA managed only 3 hits, 3, showing just how dominant the Venezuelan pitching staff was. Venezuela went 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position, which honestly could have been better, but when you've got pitching and defense playing at that elite level, you don't need to score 10 runs to win championships. The entire World Baseball Classic this year was absolutely phenomenal from start to finish. The competition, the passion, the national pride on display, it was everything baseball fans could ask for and more. The only downside? We have to wait until 2029 for the next one. That's right, 4 long years before we get to experience this level of international baseball drama again. But while we're in celebration mode, Blue Jays Nation, we need to take a moment to honor an absolute legend. Happy 82nd birthday to the man, the myth, the absolute icon, Cito Gaston. If you're a younger Blue Jays fan and you're sitting there wondering who this gentleman is, stop everything you're doing right now and go educate yourself on Blue Jays royalty. Cito, Gaston isn't just any manager. This man is the winningest manager in Toronto Blue Jays history with 894 victories. But the accolades don't stop there. Gaston made history as the first African-American manager to win not 1, but 2 World Series championships. He captured 4 division titles and cemented his legacy as a Canadian Baseball Hall of Famer. The stories about Cito from former players are absolutely incredible. Everyone talks about how he was always there for his guys, how humble he remained despite all his success, and how he embodied what it means to be a true baseball guy through and through. The locker room culture he created was special, and his impact on the game extends far beyond just wins and losses. Happy birthday, Cito. Blue Jays Nation salutes you. Now, let's get to the real drama happening right now in Dunedin. Spring training is winding down, and the final roster cuts are approaching like a freight train. Some players are fighting for their baseball lives, and the tension is absolutely palpable. First up, we've got the curious case of Eloy Jimenez, and folks, this might be the comeback story of the spring. Jimenez has been absolutely mashing the baseball in Dunedin. We're talking legitimate power, the kind of thunder in his bat that makes coaches' eyes light up. But here's what's even more impressive. He's been playing decent defense. For a guy who's had his struggles in the field over the years, this is huge. The Blue Jays are looking at their bench and asking themselves one critical question. Do we need some extra thump? Someone who can come off the pine and change a game with one swing? If the answer is yes, and let's be honest, it probably is, then Eloy Jimenez might be spelling out those insurance runs in big, bold letters. The inside track to making this roster might just have his name written all over it. But here's where things get heartbreaking for Blue Jays fans. Schneider, the feel-good story we all fell in love with, might be in serious trouble. This is the kind of roster battle that keeps fans up at night because you want this guy to succeed. You want him to make the team. But baseball is a cruel business, and right now, the numbers aren't looking good. Schneider has gotten off to a slow start this spring, and with the roster juggling the Blue Jays need to do before opening day, he's finding himself on the outside looking in. The competition is fierce, the spots are limited, and every at-bat matters. It's becoming harder and harder to envision a scenario where Schneider breaks camp with the big league club, and that's a tough pill to swallow for everyone who witnessed his magical moments last season. Now, here's where the plot thickens even more. Enter Eloy Jimenez, who just rejoined the team after representing Panama in the World Baseball Classic. This guy could be the beneficiary of all this roster chaos as the extra infielder. But there's a massive complication. Jimenez is out of options. Let me break down what this means for those who might not be familiar with the brutal business side of baseball. If the Blue Jays want to send Eloy Jimenez to the minors, they'd have to designate him for assignment first. That means placing him on waivers, where any other team in baseball can claim him for basically nothing. And here's the kicker. If nobody claims him, then he could accept an assignment to AAA Buffalo. But that's a big if. The real question keeping Blue Jays management up at night is this. Is Eloy Jimenez good enough that another team would swipe him up off waivers? The answer, frankly, is probably yes. This guy has legitimate major league talent, and there are 29 other teams out there who would love to add that kind of depth to their organization for free. So the Blue Jays are stuck in this impossible position. Do they protect Eloy Jimenez by keeping him on the major league roster, even if it means sacrificing another player who might contribute more this season? Do they risk losing him for nothing by trying to sneak him through waivers? These are the kinds of decisions that can make or break a season, and the front office is feeling the pressure. But wait, there's more. The bullpen situation is an absolute mess right now. There are simply too many arms competing for too few spots, and some guys who thought they had roster spots locked up might be in for a rude awakening. Multiple pitchers are in that same boat as Eloy Jimenez. Make the roster or potentially be gone forever. The Blue Jays can't keep everyone, and somebody's dream is about to become a nightmare. However, there is some good news emerging from Dunedin that should make Blue Jays fans breathe a sigh of relief. Yimi Garcia, who had some injury concerns that were making headlines and causing panic among the fan base, is apparently making excellent progress. Earlier reports suggested he might miss significant time, but the latest updates indicate he won't be out nearly as long as initially feared. Garcia is reportedly progressing well in his recovery, and the timeline for his return is looking better by the day. For a bullpen that needs all the quality arms it can get, this is massive news. The Blue Jays were sweating bullets, thinking they might have to start the season without one of their key relief pitchers, but it looks like crisis averted. The vibe in Dunedin right now is absolutely electric. You've got players fighting for their careers, coaches making impossible decisions, and fans desperately hoping their favorite prospects and veterans make the cut. Spring training might look relaxed from the outside, with sunshine and palm trees and guys shagging fly balls in shorts, but make no mistake, this is serious business. Every at-bat in these final exhibition games matters. Every defensive play is being scrutinized. Every bullpen session is being evaluated with a microscope. The players know it, the coaches know it, and the front office is watching everything. As opening day approaches, the Toronto Blue Jays are going to have to make some brutal decisions. Somebody who's been with the organization, who's put in the work, who's dreamed of wearing that Blue Jays uniform on opening day is going to get that devastating phone call or that heartbreaking meeting. That's the reality of professional baseball, and it never gets easier. The Eloy Jimenez situation is fascinating because he represents exactly what the Blue Jays need: proven power off the bench. But is his glove good enough? Can he stay healthy? Those questions linger. Davis Schneider's potential demotion would be crushing for fans who watched him become a folk hero last season. Eloy Jimenez being caught in roster limbo shows just how complicated these decisions become when options and waivers get involved. And let's not forget about the bullpen arms who are sweating it out. Relief pitchers live the most precarious existence in baseball. One bad outing can cost you a roster spot. One great performance by a competitor can push you out. The margins are razor thin. The Blue Jays front office, led by Ross Atkins and company, has some serious thinking to do in these final days before they have to set the opening day roster. Do they prioritize youth or experience, power or defense, upside or reliability? These aren't easy questions, and there's no perfect answer. What we do know is that when opening day arrives, some players are going to be celebrating the realization of their dreams, while others are going to be dealing with crushing disappointment. Some guys will be popping champagne in Toronto, while others will be on buses to Buffalo or looking for new opportunities with other organizations. The beauty of spring training is that it gives everyone a chance to prove themselves. The tragedy of spring training is that not everyone can win. The roster spots are limited, the competition is fierce, and Father Time and the baseball gods don't care about your feelings. As we count down to opening day, keep your eyes locked on Dunedin. Keep watching for those final roster moves. Keep refreshing your social media feeds for breaking news. Because in the next few days, we're going to see dreams made and dreams crushed in equal measure. The World Baseball Classic gave us an appetizer of incredible baseball drama. Now the Blue Jays spring training roster battle is serving up the main course. And trust me, Blue Jays Nation, you do not want to miss a single moment of what's about to go down. So there you have it, folks. From Venezuela's World Baseball Classic Championship to Cito Gaston's birthday celebration to the absolute chaos of the Blue Jays roster battles, we've covered it all. This is the content you crave, the insider information you need, and the analysis that keeps you ahead of the curve. If you enjoyed this deep dive into everything Blue Jays, make sure you smash that like button. Drop a comment below telling me who you think should make the roster. Are you Team Eloy, Team Davis, Team Leo? I want to hear your thoughts. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because we're bringing you daily Blue Jays content all season long. Don't miss a single update, don't miss a single roster move, don't miss a single moment of Blue Jays baseball. Let's go, Blue Jays.
Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.